guys! I'm so excited to finally share this with you. The Red Book is officially launching this weekend. This project has been such a personal journey. Every chapter blends confidence tips with creative prompts to help you express who you really are, not just what you wear. It's more than just a fashion journal. It's a space to reset, dream big, and redefine your personal style from the inside out. So if you're ready to start your own Red Book journey, you can pre-order it right now. And here's the fun part, the first 200 orders will get a signed copy by yours truly. So don't wait, comment the word book below and I'll send you the pre-order link.
Hey guys, today we're testing out VEO 3.1 on an actual use case. So I'm going to walk you through the process of setting up this influencer style UGC video for a fictional product in the fashion niche, or in our case, a fashion journal that our character is going to be promoting for an upcoming launch. So you can also obviously use this for your own use case. I just figured it would be better to show you with an actual use case and an actual workflow. So now this is a random niche with a random product that I come up with just so I can test out the new VEO 3.1. I was actually pretty impressed with the results and thought I'd walk you through the entire process of creating it yourself. So I'm a very visual person, so I have to have everything like visually laid out from start to finish so I can be most efficient. So this is the way I lay out my workflows. It's in Canva, it's a whiteboard, and it has everything I need for a project. So it has the prompts, it has the reference images, it has the screenshots, the project files, it has links directly to the tools I need, and I'll go through those with you as well. If you do want access to this workflow and all the future ones as well, I'll put that link in the description. It even comes with a stripped down version down here, so you can use it for your own use case, along with the tools and links already there. Even the project files come with it as well. So you just click on the folder and it'll take you right to the project files that you'll have access to. So you can use this to follow along or to create your own version of this project if you like. So I'm going to briefly go through each step just to give you a quick overview of the entire process. There's only 5 steps, and then I'll go through each step in more detail. First, obviously, we're going to create our UGC character. Now, there's a couple different ways that you can do this depending on your use case, but I'll get into that in more detail here in just a moment. The second step is where we actually take our product and then our UGC character and put them into an image together using Nano Banana. This will create what will become our starter frames for the video. So you can have several different frames if you want. In our case, we're just going to need one photo of our character with the book to generate 4 different videos. So once we have our starter frame, we're going to use that and generate our prompts to make the videos. There's a certain technique and structure that I use for my prompts after a lot of testing. This is usually the structure that works best for me, and I'll get into that in a moment also. Once we have our prompts, we're going to hop over to VEO 3.1, and VEO 3.1 you can access in like tons of different ways. I just use it in Google Vertex AI or AI Studio. You can use whatever you currently use to access it, that's fine. Then we're going to generate 4 different videos, and then we're actually going to generate 2 B-roll videos to play as well. This is where you really get to see where 3.1 shines. And then once we have everything ready to go, we're going to dump it all into CapCut and make it look pretty with transitions and background music. So that's pretty much the process. So we'll get into the first step now. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is generate our UGC character. Now, if you already have one, obviously you can use that. In our case, I don't have one yet, so I'm going to show you how I typically create UGC characters or really any type of character. Now, you can create your own detailed prompt, but what I like to do is get inspiration from other videos or images or something I see on my timeline. Maybe I liked how a setup is, the structure or style of a photograph or something, video, still, whatever. And then I can change some elements and make it something unique and make it my own for my use case. For this step, I usually use Google's IMAGEN. I do find that when I generate the image in IMAGEN, it edits really, really good in Nano Banana. It keeps a lot of the detail. It looks a lot like, the original character. So like here, in my workflow, I have everything I need. I have the reference images. I also have the tool here. Like I said, if you get the workflow, you can get access to the tool. You just click on it. It takes you right to it. I have it up right here, ready to go. This is something that I just saw on my timeline. So I just kind of like the feel of it, the aesthetic or whatnot. So typically what you want to do with an image that you like, either from your timeline or from a YouTube video, or you can, get a screenshot of something, and then you take that and then you can extract a detailed prompt, image prompt, from that photo so you can then generate something similar. So it's a two-step process pretty much. So you get the image, you attach it, extract the prompt, and then you change some elements to make it your own. For this, for example, I don't know where I saw this. I saw it on my timeline or something, and I screenshotted it. So in this case, I'm just going to literally take the photo and bring it in here, and then it's going to attach the photo. And then I don't want it to pay attention to the text, obviously, because I just want the photo. So I'm just going to put ignore the text, and then it's going to do its thing. And then the second thing it's going to do is it's going to ask me if I want to change anything from it. So we'll do like remove the hat, change the wine glass into a milkshake, and she's wearing a sweater. So that's typically what this tool does. You just literally attach the image, and then it basically gives you an overview of what the image is, and then it asks you if you want to adjust anything in the image. So in this case, we're going to remove the hat, change the wine glass into a milkshake, and she's wearing a sweater. So we're going to submit that. And then it's going to give me a full detail prompt based on that image as inspiration. So now what we're going to do is we're just literally going to take and copy the prompt. And then we're going to go over to IMAGEN. I use Google AI Studio or Vertex AI. You can use IMAGEN on one of many, many different platforms. So whatever platform you use is fine. I use IMAGEN 4. That's good enough. I never use IMAGEN Ultra because IMAGEN 4 is good enough. So we're going to sure that says IMAGEN 4, and then we're going to do, let's do 2 results, and then we're going to copy our prompt here, and then we are going to do 16 by 9 output resolution, keep it at 1K, and then we're going to run. All right, perfect. So that looks pretty good. Yeah, this one, yeah, these came out good. So these came out really good. So like I said, you can use Midjourney or IMAGEN, it's up to you. Now that we have our UGC character, we can take that over to Nano Banana, and now we can put our product into it, and that's going to be step 2. Okay, so now we're going to generate the starter frames for our main videos and 2 B-roll videos. Like I said before, you can have multiple starter frames depending on your use case. For this example, we only need 1 starter frame with our UGC character holding our product, in this case, a fashion journal. This will probably be the easiest step because you just attach 2 photos and kind of play director, telling Nano Banana what to do. So we'll do that first. So we're going to use Nano Banana to do this. And like I said before, you can use Nano Banana in many different platforms. I use Google AI Studio if I need to do something really quick. You get a limited amount of generations. And then I use Vertex AI for the rest of the stuff. So, but you can use whatever you want. Okay, so we're going to start with Nano Banana. So we're going to click that, and then it's going to switch it to that one. And then we are going to grab our 2 frames. So our UGC character and our product. And then we're just going to slide them over here into the chat. And then we're going to take that prompt from back here and then just put it in like that. So she's holding up the red book, showing it to the camera mid-sentence. And then we're going to run that. Perfect. Now, as you can tell, this will happen to some of them. I'm actually glad this happened so I can show you guys. So to get it to this final thing, you're going to have to, sometimes you have to run 5, 10, 15 different photos to get what you want. If it doesn't come out the way you want, just run another generation until you get what you want. So we'll run this one again. All right. So this this one came out a lot better. She just doesn't have the right amount of fingers, or it's tucked under here. But you guys get the idea. So you're going to run this until you get the photo that you want, and then that's going to be your starter frame. Now, for the B-roll frame, for this one here, I literally did the same thing, except I just changed the prompt. So I changed it to, she's sitting at her desk, she's writing in the red book, and then I tried a couple different ones. I didn't like how they were coming out. I changed it to a sweater just so it can give the idea that it's a different time of day or something like that. But that's how I got this B-roll starting frame. So basically, attach the product and your UGC character, and then put in the prompt, act like a director until you get what you want. So now that we have all the frames that we need, then we're going to go and create our prompts, and that's going to be step 3. Okay, so now that we have all those starter frames, we need to generate the prompts for the videos. Now, after much testing and trying different things, JSON prompts, simple prompts or whatever, I kind of found a happy medium as far as prompt structure. Structuring the prompt this way gets me the best results with as little redos as possible in the times that I've been using it. So it has some parts here that I'll go through here with you first. The first is going to be the art direction. Now, what this basically does is when you attach the picture, the art direction basically confirms to the AI what it's looking at, and then the direction that you want to take that image into the video. So it just gives it a general idea. So it does those two things. And then the next thing you want to have is your script. And there's a couple of different 3 or 4 components here that I've come across that works best for me. So the first one is the subject of the video that you want to focus on. In this case, it's the influencer. In other use cases, it can be, the man, the woman, the cat, dog, whatever. So it identifies the subject in the frame. And then the voice ID is something that I can't remember where I got it from, but it gives me very good consistency in the voice across different videos, because we're basically making like 4 separate videos, and then we're making 2 B-roll videos. The B-roll videos don't matter, but with the 4th one, we need the character to sound obviously the same. So this was a big issue when I started with VEO 3. The character would just sound different throughout all the videos. Using this structure, giving it a voice ID, and then saying like female voice, expressive, this would be 27 female. So you can have, man voice, concerned, 42 male or something like that. So putting this in there across all the videos really helps with the voice consistency and making it sound the same. So you got that, you got the subject, and then you got the voice ID, and then you have additional tonality that it attaches to that as well. So in our case, friendly, excited, authentic. And then the blue, the script, is what we're actually changing between the videos. Everything else is staying the same. So in this case, this is the first frame. Hey guys, I'm so excited to finally share this with you. The Red Book is officially launching this weekend. And then she lifts the book slightly, smiling. This project has been such a personal journey. So after the script are the technical notes, and this is just any final notes that you want to lock in as far as, voice consistency, timing. This is always set to 8 seconds. I updated it now because we're having runoff issues. So this should be at 8 seconds. Additional camera motion stuff, lighting, action expressions and whatnot. So having it in this structure has helped me a lot as far as consistency and not having to do as much redos and regenerations and whatnot. And then the B-roll one is basically the same thing, except without I don't know why the script is in here. So I had to go in and remove this. So this must have been a first draft. But the B-roll is the same thing. The art direction, the script, you don't put it in there. And then you just do the technical notes for the B-roll. And like I said, I have a tool that I use that just does this automatically for me. On the visual workflow here, you just click that and it'll take you right to the tool. Okay, so I have the tool up here. The tool that I use, it analyzes the photo, your starter frame, and then it asks you a few follow-up questions as far as the concept of the video, and then how many clips you want, and how many B-roll clips and whatnot. And then it actually spits out all the scripts for you automatically. So in our case, we just have the one starter frame right here. So we're going to grab that and copy that over, and then we're going to submit that. And then it's going to ask for the full concept. So it has an example here. It pulled this example from a previous conversation, obviously. Okay, so we submitted the photo, and it's going to confirm that, and then it's going to ask for a concept for the video. So in our case, influencer UGC style video for promoting a book launch this weekend. The book is a fashion journal. CTA is to pre-order, and that the first 200 copies are signed by her. So we're going to go ahead and submit that. So it's going to confirm the concept, and now you tell it how many main videos you want. In our case, 4 videos and 2 B-roll videos. And then once you tell it that, it's literally going to do all this for you. So it's going to clip 1 of 4, clip 2 of 4, clip 3 of 4, clip 4, and then it's going to do the B-roll clips because I mentioned I needed 2. So now it's got the B-roll clips as well. So now you literally just have to copy and paste this onto like a Word document or something, and then just iterate it a little bit, make sure it makes sense, update it. But 90% of the work is done here for you. So once you have all your scripts ready to go, then you're ready to actually make the videos in VEO 3.1. and I'll walk you through that now. Okay, so now that we have our starter frames and scripts for our main videos and B-roll clips, we're gonna go ahead and generate the videos in VEO 3.1. So like I mentioned before, you can use VEO in a whole bunch of different places. You can use it in Flow, in Whisk, Higgsfield, etc. For today, I'm just gonna use mine in Vertex AI. This is what I'm using currently. It's just easier for me just to make them in here. But the settings are going to be pretty much the same wherever you use it. So we're going to start off by using our first frames. So here I'm just going to click upload, get my starter frame, which is this one. And then we're going to get our prompt, which I'll just go back to this one just as an example. I'm not actually going to run it because I don't want to waste credits. But you literally just do this. You Control-C and you copy it. And then you bring it over here and then Control-V. Paste the prompt in here. So attach the image, paste the prompt. Now on these settings here, you want to make sure that you pay close attention. Again, it depends on what you use, but you can do, sometimes you can only do one at a time. On this particular one, you can do up to 4 results. I don't want to do that. But I like to do one at a time and then just make more if I need to. And then I can choose my model here, VEO 3.1 preview. That's the actual 3.1 that's on there right now. You can use the standard version or the fast preview version. I have gotten better results using the normal version. I've heard other people that get fine results using the fast. So use whichever one is going to give you the best results. So we're going to keep this one 16:9. We're going to go down to 1 result, 8 seconds, 720p. I don't do 1080p because what I realize that it's doing most of the time is just upscaling, and it's a crappy upscale in my opinion. So I just keep it at 720p. This one, we're going to need audio because she has dialogue, and that's it. So we just hit submit and let it do its thing. And then when we're done, it'll come out just like this, like an 8-second video. So this is her saying the first line. And like I said, she's very detailed. It goes really well with what she's saying in the dialogue and everything. And then you'll get you'll do this per video. So you're just going to switch the script out and do it for each video that you have. In this case, we did 4. And then what you're going to do, after your main videos are done, you're going to take the starter frames for your B-roll footage and put them in here. So in our case, it's this one right here. Well, first we did this one, and then we did this one. So like I'll do that one. Then you go back to your B-roll, and then you just copy that one into here. And then you do the same thing. So you have your B-roll starter frame attached along with the script. And then you hit submit, and then it'll produce a video. And this one came out, and here's how that one came out. So this one, it came out really good. Okay, so once you have all videos and all B-roll clips, then you are ready to dump them all into CapCut for a final edit. So we'll quickly go through that, and then we'll wrap this up. Now we're inside CapCut on the actual project file that I used to create the video, and I'll quickly run down how I got to the final product for you guys. The first thing we're going to do is make sure that the videos are imported in here. So there's 4 videos, but I have an extra one because I kind of used half of one render and used the second half of another one. And I'll show you guys what I mean by that in a second. But once all the videos are in here, you should have generally 4 videos and then 2 B-roll videos. And then this is the kind of upper level of the timeline. There's 4 basic things. There's the captions, and then I have a filter in here that helped a little bit as far as the picture goes. And then I have all the clips in what's called a compound clip. I'll show you what that is in a second. And then I have the background music. I'm going to go into this compound clip. I'm going to show you what I did in here. These are all the videos on the timeline. You just literally grab one, put it on the timeline like that. And then you just basically put them all in sequential order, and then you edit them. So on this one, I had an animation on the intro. So you click the video and then you click on animation, and there's several that you can choose from. I think I had the zoom out one, but you can have different ones.
Hey guys, I'm so excited to finally share.
Obviously, I'm not going to use that one, but there's a bunch of them to choose from. I just wanted something simple, but you can choose whatever works for your use case. On the second clip here, I didn't like the second half of that clip. And this is actually why I made this second B-roll clip, was because I didn't like what she was doing towards the end of the clip. And I'll show you here. On the timeline, if you click on this eye over here, it'll shut off the elements in that timeline from view. So in here, she actually holds the book up to the camera, which I did have that in the prompt. I just didn't like how it came out at the end. So if you look at it,
To help you express who you really are, not just what you wear.
So that's why I made that second B-roll clip so I can go over that. You're going to do this a lot. You're going to want to put the B-rolls in a strategic place in the timeline so they make sense based on the video that you're making. On the third one here, this is where I kind of used a very little bit of one and then continued on to another clip. I didn't need to add a transition because I thought it was smooth anyway. I'll play it here.
Fashion journal, it's a space to reset. More than just a fashion journal, it's a space to reset.
Now, for this B-roll, the reason I put this in here is because if you notice at the beginning of this video, there's no lights in the background, and then all of a sudden it starts putting lights in the background. So that's why I added the B-roll on top of there. So I'm going to click the eye again. It's going to show them back up, and that's why it cut to the B-roll of her putting the phone on the counter. And then I laid the third one here. And then I did kind of the same thing over there that I did with using the beginning of one and the end of another.
Wait, comment the word book below and I'll send.
I think on the first one, she said comment like twice or something, but this is how you're going to edit them out. So you can, cut them down in size, do whatever you need to do. If you need to split them, like let's say I need to split this into two, you click on it and then Control B puts a split right down the middle and it splits it into two. So I don't need to do that. So Control Z to undo it. And then there's a whole bunch of tools. I won't get into them here, but you can explore what these mean. I just wanted to show you the tools that I use for this video in particular. And then the transitions, you go to transitions and then you have several of them here. I have three main ones that I use 90% of the time. These are just nice, simple, clean, not too dramatic. So you just literally drag it into the timeline there and then
every chapter.
Nice little transition like that. So once you have them all stitched together and then the B-rolls and the transition, you're going to highlight all of them and then you're going to right click and then click create compound clip. And that's what it's going to do. This is going to put everything in one element on the timeline for you. So you can now just click on that and, raise the volume if you need to raise it. You can go to the audio. You can normalize loudness, enhance the voice, do whatever you need. And it's going to do that with all the things on this compound clip. So it just makes it easier to edit at that point. So once we have that, I do the captions. So it's just going to captions option and then clicking generate. And then you want to choose a template that goes well with the video. So this is self-explanatory. I just like this one because it went with the rest of the video nicely, I thought anyway. I do have a filter in here. Yeah, I kind of added a little bit more color to the background. This is only set at about a 30 intensity. So a nice little subtle improvement there. And that's over on filters. And then there's a bunch of them to choose here. You can search and try different ones or whatnot. And then the last thing is the background music. So you just go to audio and then music. I think this one is Cozy Day. I think that's this one here. Yeah. So you just literally drag it and put it on the timeline. And then you want to make sure that it doesn't overpower the UGC character. So you can hover over it. You can turn the voice down or up, whatever you need to do on there until you have a good balance of just, a little bit of the background music and then the character's voice a little bit higher. So it's not drowned out by the background music. And that's basically it. So then you can export, you can click edit cover here. And then it'll take you to a thumbnail editor. I don't mess around too much with this. I actually did this in Canva and then just imported it in here and then just export in 4K. I always use 4K because I like the quality. And then that's it. It'll put it in the folder that you designate. If you want to put it in a different folder, just click the folder icon. And that's it. That's how you go from nothing to having a full edited production ready video of a UGC character. All right, guys, and that does it for this first video. Hope you guys liked it. It's the first video of actually about 25 videos that I have queued up to make for this channel. This is the first one, so obviously I'm going to want to improve it going forward. So if you guys have any suggestions, questions, anything, please feel free to let me know. I'm all about feedback and improving for next time. Again, I'll put access to this down in the comments. You get access to the entire visual workflow, the actual project files, the prompts, the tools that I use, everything you need to do this yourself or do a different version. And once you have access for good. So you'll get access to this project and the rest of the projects going forward. So like and subscribe if you like this video, and I'll catch you on the next one.